Alright, hey, what's up? Just want to do this little video because, man, alright. So, due to yesterday events as far as the Madden situation and the Madden shooting massacre, if you want to call it that, my condolences go out to the friends and family who lost somebody yesterday. And doing this video because I want to address something that it really burns my ire. After that, Tariq and I did a little video, and I was like, "Oh Lord, here we go." Now, mind you, I like his documentations, his documentaries, Hidden Colors, 1804. I support the brother and all, but when it comes to video games, he is so jaded and skewed because he comes from an old school black way of thinking when it comes to video games. And I don't want to come from a angry. The reason why I'm doing this video now instead of when it first happened last night, I want to come from a logical instead of emotional standpoint because I'm a gamer first generation. You know what I'm saying? I heard the podcast and stuff when he was going off on comic book people who love comic books and video games. You know what I'm saying? Calling them nigga nerds and all that. But I just want to address some things and just tell them like, like some Carlton Banks, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type shit. You know what I'm saying? We both black and we both running the same race, so why you trying to trip me up? That's that old school black thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the east side of Detroit, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Nerd, geek, whatever you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? 80s, 90s, like 92, 93. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to NWA and all that, but I was also playing Dungeons and Dragons on a PNP. PNP stands for pen and pad, you know what I'm saying? Hanging with friends, doing champions and stuff like that at Horizons Upper Brown, Cranbrook. I can't help. My mother was an English professor at U of M. I can't help that my mother would critique me and, say, you speak proper English in my presence, and then I go to school, hang with thugs and riffraffs and miscreants, and then I get taught, you talking white, you a nerd, you'll never get no ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm a byproduct of my, where I come from. So, you know what I'm saying? He's a byproduct from where he come from. He used to be in Arkansas, moved to Cali, you know what I'm saying? Learn that street life. Back then in the day, if you play video games or, you read comic books or, you do that type of stuff that wasn't hood, you was a bum, a lama, you was a nerd, you was a token. And that's what he said. And some people was like, well, he didn't say that all black people that do this tokens. I was like, granted, but the way his tone said it, you can tell that he meant that. I mean, it wasn't until Black Panther just recently, did all that, made all that money, he stopped saying pretty much all black people who grew up with comic books were nigga nerds, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell you, man, real talk, I go to these tournaments, you know what I'm saying? I go to these tournaments, and I see racism as well. I see a lot of, some token, actual waifu type black guys that's trying to ignore racism. I see your point. The point is kind of valid, but it's also misconstrued or jaded, if you will, because there's some of us dudes out here that's all nothing but pullback. But we got to know we doing something that you're doing too, turning your hobby or your hustle into a lucrative opportunity. And it kind of makes me mad because you know what? Because I'm a product of the fighting game community. And the fighting game community is pretty much minority ran, basically pretty much ran by the minorities, blacks, Latinos, Asians, you know what I'm saying? It's not really white ran, whereas esports is white ran, and as I venture off into some of the esports events, like when I go, try to go to these Overwatch leagues or I watch Overwatch leagues or anything like that on television, you don't see no black kids really playing Overwatch. And why is that? Because you know why? Because people like you and your egotistical old way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Video games is a waste of space. I would love to see. That's why I encourage my sons, 13, no, excuse me, don't even know their age, 12, 15 and 21, you know what I'm saying? I keep them on, I make sure they do their homework. I also make sure to, to keep them aware of their blackness, and you know what I'm saying? And I also make sure that they play these computer games, because one day they could be on a stage clocking six figures doing something they love. And it pisses me off, you know what I'm saying, that now single black moms or single black dads are seeing the benefit of their kids playing Fortnite. When you see guys from my home state of Michigan, guy, you know, white kid named Ninja, clocking roughly, you know, 5 to 6 figures on a monthly basis, you know, streaming to folks, you know what I'm saying? But we don't see a lot of, you know, black kids doing that because, you know, it goes down to their home life. Their parents is like, man, get off that damn game. That's just a waste of time. You ain't gonna never make no money on it. Or, you know, the PC is only used for homework. You know what I'm saying? It's thoughts like that, you know. And if you go to these tournaments, you know what I'm saying, the also mindset is if you go to these tournaments, all you do is hang around non-black people. So of course you're gonna pick their things, you're gonna be alienated, and you're gonna be that one token black guy. Man, come on, dog. I know gangsters and killers and just all about that life be at tournaments in the fighting game community. Now granted, some of them don't be, you're right, they don't be at these League of Legends, StarCraft or Dota or even Overwatch tournaments, because you know we got this lingering stigma that, oh, those are white people games. Black people ain't smart enough to play those games. That's bullshit. I'll be doing everybody up in Overwatch, easy, free. I get my ass whooped, but I'll be doing ass kicking too. And black people need to come off of that. Like, it just infuriates me. Like, I can only play this game because this is the game we play. I can only play Madden or 2K, which I do. I see nothing but a lot of NBA 2K streams on Twitch, and prevalently they're almost like minority ran streams. But then when I go to the Overwatch section, you maybe see one black guy here, a black girl. You see a lot of black girls play Overwatch. That's shocking on Twitch, but and usually it'd be on consoles, but never on PC. But other than that, it's just man, stupid. It's like he infuriated me to the point where he was just talking about something that he don't know, and I'm here to educate you. Like, dog, all of us that go to tournaments ain't no token black dude. I'm not gonna say that there's none there, because there are some there, and their mind is totally warped and jaded of reality. But there's a lot of us that's still grounded in reality. There's a lot of us that understand the geopolitics of what's going on. There's a lot of us that understand the social plight that black people could face through. And here we are, we trying to, you know, trying to better ourselves and trying to show the world that as black gamers, we can game too. We can game with the best with them. You ain't even know that a black guy from London won Evo, do you? You didn't know that because it is not important to you and you don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Ben. Good job for winning Evo, the World Series of fighting games. But a lot of black people don't know that, man. You know what I'm saying? I won't say he was the first black guy. And a lot of people don't know. They probably like, oh, he's the first black guy to win. No, the first black guy to win Evo is one of my closest friends, Afro Cole. He was the first one to win the very first Evo with Dawson in Street Fighter 2 back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, I'm trying not to be mean. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be, I'm not an asshole about this, but I'm just tired of people like, it's fun. It's people like Tariq Nasheed and a couple other black people who have voice in the black community as far as like what's going on, and then they're bringing, you know, they complain about false narratives, but then they use the same false narrative when it comes to black gamers, and it's just ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just totally ridiculous. Like, I can sit up here and it's like, yeah, you're a token black guy. And then, like I said, these people defending him like, he didn't say all. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that he just generalized and, you know, pretty much marginalized that all black gamers that go to his times are like, hey, buddy, yeah, black plight. I ain't got time for that. I'm just trying to make this money. Me and Daryl and me and Jamie, we're going to go to this tournament and we're just going to have a ball. Yay. Fuck out of here, dog. I'm telling you right flat out. It ain't like that, bro. It ain't like that. Especially in the FGC. It's hardly like that. Now these esports, I mean, honestly, quite frankly, a lot of esports, I mean, I went to a couple esports events like MLG and this and that, and it's totally different night and day. Fighting game community, we bring the hype. We bring the noise. We be, you know, shits be hype. You You know what I'm saying? These esports tournaments, they be like golf tournaments. Except for League of Legends. League of Legends get hyped too. Overwatch started getting people hyped because, you know, that's how it is. But I mean, we need more black kids to be able to play esports games. And when they do it, we as black people and their parents should not shun them for doing that. And that's what I see. I see a lot of black, you know, okay, I'll put it to you like this. I see a lot of black parents would rather put a basketball, football, or a baseball bat in their black son hand over a keyboard and mouse. Meanwhile, a lot of these black kids that's coming up can do astronomical numbers on a Twitch channel and do well with that keyboard and mouse, but it's shunned upon because we know blacks is dumb and unintelligent. So give them a ball and let them play that way instead of psychologically, mentally preparing their mind to be able to handle the rigors of the world by playing virtual games. You follow me? You following what I'm saying? See how asinine that is? How dumb that is? And I fall for it too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I got a son, 15. He's taller than me. He's 6'2". Immediately in my mind, I'm like, dude, you about to play basketball. And then it's shifted from like, I don't know, from him playing basketball because he's tall. It shifted to, I need him to play basketball or a sport because his coordination is ass as far as his physical coordination. And plus, he's not a social butterfly. He's an introvert. Him playing a sport in high school would help him come out of that shell. Now, mind you, he's good. He plays Smash all the time. He plays Halo. He's very, very good. Like, he's really, really good. I won't say pro level good, but he's on the cusp from casual to pro because that's all he plays and all of that. And if I take him to a tournament with me, I think he could do quite well. But like I said, if I was a different parent, I'd be like, man, you better put that game down and go out here and catch these balls, catch these footballs, catch these basketballs. You should be dunking by now. That's all I'm saying. That's the old style mentality thinking. If we thought like that during the 50s, the 40s, and the 30s, we wouldn't have Jackie Robinson playing baseball. We wouldn't have Bill O'Ree being the first NHL player. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have, you know, some of these sports athletes like, man, why are you playing that white sport? You know what I'm saying? Even though hockey was created by French black Canadians in Canada, I digress. But anyway, I'm just saying, I mean, it's just I hate the mindset. I hate the mindset. And I hate the mindset of some of my peers that are the same age as me or older than me that shun video games. And I'm like saying, look, video games can be bad. Anything that you overdo can be addictive and can cause harm. Anything. But there's a lot of beneficial things for video games. A lot of them. You know, better hand and eye coordination, better analytical skills, better ability to critical think, and that's what we need as black men, period. Black men, black young adolescent men, black boys. You need more critical thinking. A lot of our black boys are very emotional in thinking. Why? Because 95% of all the black boys are getting raised. You know, I wouldn't say that high. I would say 72% of mostly black boys nowadays are being raised by single moms. And what are single moms? Very emotional. They don't know critical thinking. They don't know rational thinking. They only do stuff the way they feel. They don't do stuff the way they think about it. I felt I need to do this. I felt like that. And that's why little boys are emulating a lot of these women out here because that's all they know. All the mans ain't in the house. I'm not saying it's the woman's fault. I'm not saying it's the man's fault. What I am saying is that got to change because a lot of these boys are going through the world thinking that their emotions can dictate their actions, and that only causes them to get hurt. They have to logically, rationally think their way out of a problem situation. That's all I'm saying. That's my rant for today. Well, it's a Shell Shocked video if you want to be clear and frank, one take. That's how I feel about it. Hope you have a good day. Peace.